Hey Ray, how we doing?
Good, Tim. How's it going, brother?
Good, good. The show is all yours.
All right. Well, thank you, man. I just want to welcome everybody here. I appreciate you. My name is Ray Pepito, and I'm a co-founder of BeesSocial, and this is what we're all about. We're just here, just going to try to educate you about the cryptocurrency space, what we've been doing for the past 5 months, and just the incredible things that we've kind of discovered through this little journey that we've just done for a half a year, and we're just wanting to share it with you. And that's really, you're going to see that's really all this is about. But today we're just going to go over quickly what is cryptocurrency and all the different currencies. We won't spend too much time on here. I just want to go through the presentation, and then we're going to do some Q&As and questions and things like that, right? So the main thing with, hold on, why is it not sharing? Well, there we go. Types of currencies. Sorry, little hiccup there. But you probably don't realize that you're even using digital currencies right now, currently. Especially, I know your kids are. If you have any kids, young kids, whether they be in their 20s or even 10 years old, they're using digital currencies in games. All right, that's what they use right now. Another question I get a lot is, how do cryptocurrencies even get value? What is this? Some magical coin? How can they just put Bitcoin at $36,000? Well, there's a technology behind cryptocurrency called blockchain. That's the technology where these cryptocurrencies get value. All right. Now that Bitcoin is another one too. Bitcoin is at an all-time high, right? So what do you do now? There's a couple of people. I mean, not a couple, but there's a lot of people that will just hold Bitcoin. They have a price in mind where they think Bitcoin's going to go, and they're just holding. And there is nothing wrong with that. Train of thought. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's other things that you can do to even compound it in more. And that's just the choice. It's the things we're going to just roll out and kind of give you all the ideas and how to navigate in this space. So real quick, I want to just go through the three different currencies. What is a currency, right? What is fiat currency? And if you don't, we're probably pretty familiar with it, but it's the things like dollars, euros, pesos, things like that. That's fiat currency. But it's fiat money. It's established by governments, right? And their regulatory bodies. That's who establishes the money, but it doesn't really have intrinsic value, right? Any money declared by a government to be legal tender, you can look at the US dollar and it says Federal Reserve note, legal tender. That's a Federal Reserve telling you that this is money. State issue money, which is neither convertible by law to anything else, nor fixed in value to items and for any objective standard. There's really no rhyme or reason. That's what's kind of funny. You look at the Federal Reserve and, that's the reason we have inflation. So, the Federal Reserve is neither federal nor do they have any reserves, but neither here nor there. But that's who kind of, makes our fiat currency. And that's why it's called that. It's because it's kind of whatever the government decrees, right? And there you go. It's the US dollar. The other two, and they're very similar, digital currency and cryptocurrency. Those are right on par with each other. Digital currency is things like I talked about earlier, like video games. You'll see that a lot in anytime you're playing games. You'll see they give you coins and to go get other things, or to get, like in Fortnite, to get skins. But it's just kind of cool how digital currencies came about. If you ever remember a music trading platform called Napster, that's really how kind of, the peer-to-peer digital currency kind of started, was that in 1999 through Napster. It's another little piece of the blockchain of how it was built by Napster. Pretty cool. Now, cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is there's one big, huge difference from digital currency and cryptocurrency, and that's cryptography. The reason cryptocurrency is so awesome and what everybody's kind of coming into right now is because it's built on the blockchain. It's secured by cryptography, which makes it nearly impossible to counterfeit or double spend. You know that they can counterfeit dollars, right? Well, it's impossible to counterfeit Bitcoin. You can't make the same two Bitcoins. You can't do that. You can't do that with any of these cryptocurrencies, right? So that gives it a lot of value. That's why people are starting to see the value in this type of monetary system, right? Many cryptocurrencies are decentralized networks based on blockchain technology. They're distributed ledgers That's really what the blockchain is. It's a ledger. It's a digital ledger, keeps track of everything, right? It's transparent. Anybody can go and see what's going on the chain or the blockchain, like on Ether scan. That's Ethereum's blockchain. You can go and see everybody's transactions. You don't know who they are; they're just strings of numbers, but you can see everything. Another cool thing about blockchain, it's incorruptible. Once they set a smart contract or a build on a blockchain, they can't undo it. It's set in concrete. That's why there's a saying in blockchain and cryptocurrency is that code is law. So that's kind of those are some things, and unhackable. That's another huge thing. You'll hear stories of something that got hacked, like Mt. Gox or something like that in cryptocurrency. That wasn't the blockchain getting hacked. That was a place that was holding everyone's passwords and private keys. That's what got hacked, right? That's how they stole people's cryptocurrencies. They didn't go in to a blockchain and hack that. They hacked of the place that was holding everyone's passwords and private keys. So I just want to kind of give you a little kind of thing with that. Now, this next one is funny. I kind of just like to touch on it because there's something that's kind of unique with the internet and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What does anybody want to guess, or I don't know if you see anybody on there that just puts anything in there, Tim, but anybody want to guess what the first thing the internet was ever anything that was purchased on the internet? It's the same thing that was purchased with Bitcoin. And it's kind of funny, but don't look at this. It's a fuzzy picture, but because this is actually the actual transaction that took place on the internet first. And it was also the very first transaction from Bitcoin. They both bought pizza. Those were the very first transactions that were ever made on the internet and by Bitcoin. And just, I'm going to kind of skip over the story, but it was made in October 2008. And it was just a guy who was kind of the first one to get sent some Bitcoin, right? But he wanted to come back. His name was Laszlo, and come back and buy some pizzas with this Bitcoin that he got. He got it directly from Nakamoto. And that's the guy supposedly no one knows, but the founder of Bitcoin, or at least who created the blockchain and gave it to the world. Really, no one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. That's the actual original creator of Bitcoin. But the cool thing, going back to the pizzas, is this guy gave 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. That's what he did. And it had everything on it. It had the pepperonis and, all the peppers, onions. It had the works, right? So 2 pizzas back in like I said, 2009, $20.50 each. That's what those pizzas were worth. So altogether, $41. Today, what that guy gave, he gave over $300 million for those pizzas. That's what he gave for 2 pizzas. And it's just a funny story about the internet and that. But it's just funny to see. I'm gonna jump not right away, but in a couple of slides, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. If you were to get in Bitcoin back in 2010, 2011 to today, there's no comparison. You'll see. Let me go to the next slide. So how does Ethereum and Bitcoin, have value? How does that? It's not just blockchain. Well, that's the driving force, but there's also reasons for it. Okay, Bitcoin cannot be seized. You cannot seize Bitcoin, right? And that's a big point. Citizens of countries like Argentina and Lebanon are well aware of how the government can just interfere with money stored in a person's bank account. When you deposit cash into a bank, nobody tells you that you are giving up and handing control over your money to a bank and the government. You are literally doing that, right? I know we don't think of it like that, but it's not in your house. It's not in your safe. That bank is now in control of your money, and that bank is doing awesome things to make themselves money off of your money. That's what they're doing. So even in places like the United States, there is asset forfeiture, but where the government can come in and freeze a person's bank account. They can do that at any time. Typically, this happens to just criminals, but it's happened to people who haven't committed any crime. The government can just come in and seize things, right? All cards, all accounts, and they can do that. Another cool thing about Bitcoin and why it has value is the way you can send it all around the world, right? Sending Bitcoin is like sending a money order that you can send anywhere in the world. It will get there in around 10 minutes, and it will only cost you a few dollars or less to send it, right? Although Bitcoin is slower than other cryptocurrencies, which it is still exponentially faster than the existing financial system today, that we use, that everybody's used to. This world, this physical world, is this crypto world, this digital world is just, it is the future, but we're actually living in it right now, right? So even sending money to two first world countries, between two first world countries, like Switzerland and the United States, it can take up to 5 days, and it'll cost you 10% in fees. By any standards, Bitcoin is way better option. So there's another reason it has value, is because it's very easily transferable. And the other one, deflationary. Bitcoin is a deflationary currency. Central banks around the world are printing money like it's going out of style. Amidst the backdrop of monetary inflation, Bitcoin is a hard asset like gold. There's only a set supply rate, right? There's only so many Bitcoins out there. No central banker or Wizard of Oz economist can print more Bitcoin. Scarcity is a key thing that makes this currency valuable. And Bitcoin is one of the scarcest assets on the planet. Just think about back in the day, think in the 50s or the 60s, there was only one person that had to work, right? That one person would work, and they would still have a house to live under, under that roof of that house. They'd have a car. They would get food for the family. One person, right? What's the difference? Anybody? Inflation, right? That's why today, right? We have to have two parents working, sometimes two jobs, right? To get a house, to get a car, and it's all about inflation, right? And there is a central bank in the United States called the Federal Reserve that controls all the currency, that moves inflation, right? Just saying, that's what it is. It is what it is. So that's another cool thing about this system that we're talking about, blockchain and cryptocurrency. With Ethereum, smart contracts are the one thing, the primary reason that it has value. And I know I won't get too deep into that, but smart contracts are just where they can build off of the chain, and they can make it do certain maneuvers, just like a bank, credit default swaps, or banks can do fractional reserve banking, where they can lend out more or leverage the amount of money, so that we can do those type of financial actions in the system with Ethereum by writing smart contracts on the chain. So again, that's one of the main reasons that Ethereum has value. Also, Ethereum is the, like you'd say, the economy. Bitcoin is a store of value like gold. Ethereum is the oil and gas of this whole system. Everyone really builds off of Ethereum, even ourselves. Like, I'm an Opus partner. Opus has built off of Ethereum, right? So that's where everyone builds, because that's kind of where everybody is. That's where all the money is. That's where all this people that are coming into this space are, right? There's going to be some new ones that are going to pop up, but that's kind of why Ethereum has value. On that economy, people have to pay gas fees, right? For transactions, for putting in contracts, you have to pay fees to play on Ethereum's economy and their system. Well, that gas fee, I mean, that's why there's value. If you have to use it, if it has a purpose, now that coin has value. So if they, people take it for any services, retail, if somebody takes seashells for a shirt, that is a currency. That's kind of, again, how a lot of these currencies work. If people take it, that's one of the major reasons why any of them are currencies. It's also, Ethereum is also used for a collateral for a wide range of financial applications. MakerDAO and Compound are some examples. Can also be lent on systems and platforms like Dharma. So just giving you some ideas of why Ethereum and Bitcoin have value. So that's kind of the kind of what we went with that slide. This is the one that's really awesome and pretty interesting, I would say, is that look at this graph, right? This is the past 10 years, right? Well, now we're about 10 years, 2021 now. But if you look down here, this is the US dollar, okay? And then we're back at 2011, right? If you had cash and you held it for the past 10 years, you would have made 4.8% on your money. This is the cumulative value. Okay, if you would have did that with cash. Another one everybody loves is gold. I mean, everybody hears about gold, and it's the store of wealth, and that's what people like to have. And if you would have went over there and did that for 10 years, 24.3%. That's its value, and that's where you would have got for 10 years of holding gold. Right? I'm going to jump up to the top because all of these, this is all stocks, index funds, things like that. And it's funny, there's a lot of index funds up there because that's what we are in this DeFi space. And I'm not, that's deeper, but that's exactly what we're in right now, decentralized finance. And we have an index, right? So if you look here at Bitcoin, very top, number one, every year after year after year, except for 2014, 2018, they had little down years. And they're big. They're big numbers, but not like this. All right. For the past 10 years, if you would have held this currency, you would have had 6,271,233% gain on your money. That's cryptocurrency, and that's this space. I mean, that's why when we talk about numbers, I could tell you for me, from what we did, and I've been telling everybody that I have 40x my money. But what I've done in the past 5 months, for me personally, I'm not going to talk about specific numbers, about like the amount that were, specific dollars. But now that they've updated, the contract, I'm now at 50x of what I've made in 5 months. So it's incredible what you can do in this space when you know and you have knowledge of what's going on here, right? All it is just learning. I've been doing cryptocurrency marketing for probably 3 years, just marketing, different projects and ICO launches and things like that. That's what I really do for a living, is a marketing agency. But now, after being in this group of people and we all learning together, 6 months, it's amazing what we know now. And that's all we're here for. This is the whole idea, folks. We're just here to share our experience. There's not a pitch fest here. You're going to see about what we've done, and you're going to be able to follow along if you want to, or you're going to do some other things that might interest you. You might just be interested in trading cryptocurrency. And all that is you give one currency for another one, right? What we've been doing is called decentralized financing. And on top of that, there was another one called yield farming. They're two things. They're two separate things. And if you want, write that down in your notebook, write those down and look what those up, look what those are up. And we're going to talk about those too, but we want you to start looking and digging in. You just Google that stuff and go around, not saying that they are the correct answers, but you're going to know what to ask and talk about. So when we come back together, you'll have questions. You'll know what we're kind of discussing here. So this is all, personal responsibility with this whole space. Another thing that we kind of really, 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 drill down on is that this space it's unforgiving. You must take responsibility for yourself in here, because you really do become your own bank, right? So you must write down your passwords, you must write down your seed phrases, and you must keep them off of the internet and off of your computer screen. You must keep them in a safe or a box that you have a lockbox that's fireproof, or in your safety deposit box at the bank. You must do these things, because people, okay, when they get a hold of those things, they take everything, or you might not be able to log back into your account, and now it is gone. So this is not to scare you. This is to be real with you, that you have to take responsibility for yourself if you're going to play in this space. Because, look around. There is no Bitcoin headquarters, right? There is no Ethereum head offices in San Francisco. There isn't. So that's just a fair warning. We do that, and you'll hear me repeat that a lot, because we've seen things happen in the past 5 months. Just making little mistakes, right? Little mistakes, or forgetting a password, or not writing down all your seed phrases. You can't make those mistakes because there is no one to call. And it's not be like with us, with Opus or BeesSocial. It's not like we don't want to help you. It's because we can't. You're on the blockchain, right? There is no reversing things. So what I was talking about earlier, it's the beauty and a little bit of the beast, right? So that's kind of it's a two-way street. I don't think it's a bad thing, as long as you really, like I said, hey, if we want to act and be like banks and do all these kind of maneuverings and be able to yield out great earnings and things like that, then that's the kind of the trade-off you have to give, right? So that's kind of really all. I don't want to go too much further. I want to see if there's any questions. And then if there isn't, I'll kind of dig a little deeper into here, because this down here is what it's talking about is there's really no way right now to do deep research into this cryptocurrency space. But what if there was a place like Consumer Reports or Motley Fool? What about a place where you could go and yield out all the new coins, all the new cryptocurrency coins that are coming on the market? That would be a cool thing. And if you understand what yielding is, and I just want to explain this one last thing here. Yielding is placing your capital, or your money, or whatever you want to call it. You place it in a deposit, like in a bank. But we are the bank, right? You place it in a place called Balancer, okay, or Uniswap. You place it there, and you will yield out rewards, and those rewards are cryptocurrencies. You are not spending your money. Your money is sitting there providing liquidity for that pool. It's providing an awesome service for Balancer, for Uniswap. So by doing that, they're giving you rewards of cryptocurrencies, where you're not giving $1 to get a piece of Bitcoin, or you're giving $1 to get some Ethereum. This is yield farming, and it's an incredible thing. This is what I'm saying. This is how we just learned in the past 5 months how I 50x'd my money. So I don't want to, like I said, kind of sit here too long about that. I want to be able to answer questions, and we want to just have a discussion. So I appreciate it, Tim, and I'll wrap it up, and hopefully we have some questions. If not, I will dig a little deeper into what I'm talking about there. I can show a little more what we were talking about there.
Sorry.
Yeah, you were muted.
How are your lip reading skills? Did you get all that?
It was good. No, I was trying. It's all good.
So there were a couple questions that came in. I'll try and touch base with them. But one was to go back to the protection of your accounts. There's ways online and offline to protect. Which is the best way, or the standard best practice?
The best practice, I mean, there's two ways, and just think of, there's hot wallets and then there's cold wallets. That's a term, you can look it up, but it's just meaning that your wallet is connected to the internet, like on something like Coinbase or MetaMask or anything where it's actually connected, right? Even if it was plugged in with a USB, it's connected. The most secure way, at least for right now, is called a cold wallet, where like you get something like a Ledger Nano X. And it's stored off where you unplug it, and then I go put it in my safe and inside my fireproof box in my safe. So that is completely disconnected from the internet. And I want to touch on that because it's a great question, because a lot of people, you can look at your MetaMask and all these things when you're doing DeFi, your money is really not living there. I want you to kind of understand that concept. It's not really on a MetaMask. So it's also not on a Ledger. Those things are just like address books, and they're giving you the ability to move and do those transactions. When you have the right codes and the strings and passwords, then the transactions can go back and forth. Your money and your currencies in crypto is living on the chain, on Ethereum, on not Ethereum, but on the Ethereum chain, right? And I see the other one too. With it's called what is ERC20? That's another great question, because that's Ethereum. That's the Ethereum network. That's when you build a token off of the Ethereum chain. So, like if you were to understand about the wrapped PE or wrapped Ethereum, when you see that W, that wrapped, all that means is now we had to wrap ourselves with Ethereum so we can build on the Ethereum chain and do the movements and things that we have to do on there. That's why, for example, that's why you can't take your Coinbase and then go over to Balancer or to go over to Uniswap. Balancer and all those, they're built on the Ethereum chain, and they don't play with with the Coinbase. It's not built on the Coinbase is more of a centralized system, right? It's still connected with banks. It's secure like that. I mean, you got to think of the different types of things that are more important to you. If you want something where you can kind of reach out and get some customer service and things like that, well, then Coinbase is your place to go, right? Because you can. That's a more of a centralized system. Even too, it's protected like by FDIC type things, where if there's money lost like $250,000, it is insured and protected on Coinbase. When you get off the decentralized systems into more like a MetaMask, that is decentralized, right? Now there's more freedom to do different things, right? So that's all I'm saying is that's why you can use MetaMask on Uniswap and Balancer, is because it's built for ERC20 types of transactions, if that makes sense. Hopefully. Exodus, yes, it's a little more, I would say, not as centralized, but it still is, yes. Exodus, and it's from what I hear, it is good, but everybody has their own opinions. We like I said, we've seen people come in and wire money through Coinbase, and it's there the next within an hour, and then we've seen people who wired into Coinbase, and it's taken 10 days. So it's the same thing with Exodus and things like that. Gemini, that's another one. So yes, those are all similar, right? But just look them up. Any of those questions, and I'm like I said, I'm a digital marketing. That's kind of my thing anyway. But you Google it, and not saying Google's always the answer, but Google say, I'm just going to teach you even too about how to do searches. Say Exodus versus Coinbase. What's the difference? And Google will give you a table side by side, and then even too when you come back. You can even add to the conversation, say, hey, this is another cool thing, Ray. I learned that this is different over here. Because listen, folks, this is a community. This is not a one-man show. There's going to be we got Vince that's going to start. You've seen him doing something on gas earlier today. We have another guy, Ed. We have Robert and Bob, he likes to be called. He's an aerospace engineer. So we have a lot of people that are going to be coming in and just giving their time. We're not getting paid. I'm not trying to shill for any kind of thing like that. I'm just saying we're not getting paid. This isn't what this is about. I'm just excited to share with you what we did. So if I want to play in yield farming, I need to move my crypto from Exodus to MetaMask. Now, for me personally, I just know that I can use MetaMask. MetaMask is the most common, okay? But there are some when you hook up to. Let me share. I'm going to share my screen again, okay? Is that cool, Tim?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
We'll hook it up.
All right. And I just want to show you what I'm talking about. Is it sharing?
I don't see it yet.
Okay. Select window.
Pick a good one.
Oh, yeah. Pick a good one. Entire screen. That's a good one, right? Allow. There we go. So let me hop over. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So this is Opus, and like I said, we're not just here. We've come in here with 7 other awesome companies, and just because I'm an Opus partner and I have a node on their chain, I'm not here just all about Opus. Even though I love Opus, it's good. It's a good one, but this is our decentralized financing space. Okay, this is our area. So when we hook up. If I logged out, it would have asked me what types of a wallet do I want to hook up. Right when I hit that start button, it would have did that. Okay, so that's kind of where you would know. Like I said, for that question, some places are going to take the Exodus, and some won't. So for me, like I said, the most common one is MetaMask. So yeah, if you want to do this where there's no kind of worries about who's going to accept it or not, I'd go with MetaMask, right? So that's what this is. This is MetaMask right here. Okay, so it's the little fox. And if you want to get this, download it. You go to the Google Chrome store. You go to the Google Chrome store and you type in MetaMask in the search, and you sign up with that. Again, when you sign up for this, write down your password. and then you're going to get a 12 seed key phrase, right? You have to write that down in order, because that is how you will recover your wallet. If you ever have to switch computers or even to your mobile device, you have to have that, or it's gone. You know, like I said, we really talk about that, how that's a you know, it's a big deal. And you know, real quick, because this is another thing that's cool with at least the 7 companies that we're with, and these are all, you're going to see every one of these folks. They're all with us with Bees.social. And if you're with us and you already have seeds, these are the 7 companies that are going to be with us, that are going to first come through and, you know, tell us about their ideas, what they're, you know, kind of all about. You know, Starwire, I'll go through a couple of them just so you kind of have an idea. But really why I jumped over here is because I want to show you of how amazing this space is, of what we've done. This is like a DeFi index. It's not like it is. This is what it is. Now, we don't call it a DeFi index fund because we're nothing to do with financial. We're not financial advisors. We're not a financial fund. We're cryptocurrencies. All 8 of these are cryptocurrency that are built on blockchains. These are blockchain projects. Every one of them have awesome, amazing ideas of what they're building with their blockchain. Now, like I said, with Opus, ours is built and running and operational. I want you to look at up here, that token when we started out. All right, when we first started out and did this back in the beginning of September, this is when we started, okay, mid to beginning September. That coin was $23,000 a coin, okay? That's what that, and this is the BPT coin. Some of you might have it, some of you might have done it, but what we've done now, till now, okay, so the difference, we started out as a $600,000 group. This is how we started out, and now that token is worth, one token, $272,040. One token, that's what it's worth. And now we're at 64 million of liquidity for a group that started out with $600,000. That's what this group has done. That's what all these projects, that you're about to kind of be introduced to, that's the big idea. And that's the awesome thing. So real quick, oops, I don't want to beast mode. So real quick, I want to go over all you know, at least the 4 main ones, because it's not like the other ones aren't main. It's just they're more of a charitable, and they're going to be huge, but they're charitable and type of, you know, out there building orphanages and things like that. But the businesses, Starwire, okay, is a movie studio, right? They put movies and the whole project of movies on the blockchain. And if you want to know why that's cool, is because have you ever seen some actors and what they get for a movie, right? 30, 40, 50 million dollars to be in a movie acting, right? What if the movie flops, right? The actor got paid, cool for him. Starwire, they figured out, hey, let's put all this on the blockchain. And here's what I'm talking about, the technology. The blockchain, okay, allows them to say, hey, we're going to make all these smart contracts for all these people, all right? The main actor is going to get whatever, let's just say 8% of the earnings of this movie. And all the other, you know, sub actor, not only, you know, I'm not a big movie buff, but sub actors or whatever you want to call them, they're going to get 2.5%, right? Let's just say. And then you got the grips, the hands, the lights, the audio people, all the editors, directors, producers. They all get their percentages all on the blockchain, and they make all these smart contracts, right? Now the movie launches, right? Nobody's got paid anything. The movie launches, everything's on the blockchain. As the proceeds come in, it gets dispersed out through the blockchain, and everybody gets what they deserve because the movie was a success. This is going to change a lot of industries. This is why we're so excited. This is the big idea. This is the big deal. You're going to see blockchain in the financial, obviously that's what we're in, financial industry, medical industry. I mean, think of anything, insurance, and when I'm even medical, think about your medical records, right? All of this stuff, it's going to change. You know, everybody better be, you know, we're talking about 2 years, and everyone will know about this. This blockchain is like the internet. I mean, it's a big idea. It's huge. So this is another one, Pixel. Pixel's a video gaming. All right, they're doing something blockchain about video games. All right, I'm not going to go again too much in details, but That's kind of what that is with Pixel. The waifu anime, very cool. They're awesome with graphic designs and things like that. They do if you know what anime is, it's kind of like adult cartoons type, not meaning dirty, just adult, like that you like, battling wars and space, things like that. Not like Bugs Bunny, right? So the other one is NFTs. That's another one huge. You will hear about NFTs. I know I'm not going to get into the depth. If you want to look, you want something to look up NFTs, cryptocurrency. That's the next hottest thing in crypto. It's going to go booming. So just saying, that's kind of a little rundown. Then the other, like I said, the other three are also very huge. The missions, it's a charitable thing with a bunch of churches that go out and build wells. Their whole thing is about building houses and being able to do it for something like $900, $800. I think Patrick was saying. It's incredible, right? And all doing it because they can raise money through the blockchain and what that process is. Animals, all about, loving animals or whatever they are, whether it be whales, dogs, it's all about animals. And this last one is global impact, environmental. Anything environmental, save the trees, clean air, clean water, huge. These are huge ideas. So those are the first 7 that you're going to see coming through Bees.social. And that's what we were talking about, is how you're going to get into these companies. If you're familiar with investment at all, the biggest thing to ever be able to do is to get into a company before it ever launches or goes public. Those are meant for more venture capitalists and people in the know, right? The elite are billionaires. That's how the richer get, richer. And I have nothing wrong with capitalism. It's awesome. But that's how they, get their wealth, because they're in the information and in the know of these companies that are coming out before they ever go public. It's the same thing. Think of cryptocurrencies in another way. Think of them as tokenized stocks, right? That's what they are. You're getting digital stocks through cryptocurrency. That's another way to look at it. So didn't mean to drone on there and kind of go off on that, but I just wanted to, just share that with you of, what we're really talking about here, because it's pretty cool. Sorry, Tim, if you're there.
No problem. That's all good stuff.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of people cheering you on. They're loving BeesSocial and making a lot of positive comments about that. There's one new question that just popped up. Let's take a look. I don't know why the names aren't coming up through there, but this looks like Sean. So you mine the coins, so you can choose to turn those seeds you mine into coins for the different companies.
Right. I know what she's trying to get. Yeah, what she's trying to get across. So Opus, right? And that's, like I said, we're not just all about here just talking about Opus, but it's one of the things that we're doing for people who are not wanting maybe or can't even. I know times are tough right now. I mean, you're going through pandemics. People lost jobs. Businesses shutting down. People don't have money just laying around, right? And it's the same thing with third world countries. It's even worse over there, okay? But we've made a way on our chain, to be able to mine our currency on a phone, all right? And if you don't know anything about mining, that's incredible. We're the first blockchain ever to be able to do that and have that type of technology on a phone. If you ever try to mine Bitcoin, you need a server farm. You need to spend about $10,000, $15,000 to buy a bunch of servers, link them together, and build this programming to go out and figure out the algorithm of what Bitcoin's trying to spit out, so you can mine a little piece of Bitcoin. That takes a lot of power. You need to buy cooling systems, and you need to buy a lot of technology to be able to mine that. We've done it with a phone, okay? Well, we're talking about, again, why we can do this, and it's because, again, our blockchain that we built, pretty cool, pretty incredible. But the thing that Sean was talking about is the Bees.social. What we're doing is trying to be like the next venture capitalism 3.0. We want you to be able to have seeds, and those seeds are a representation of your capital. And when these companies come through, you can put seeds in because, hey, I like that. I like the environment. Now, I don't really care about the movie industry, but I like the environment. I'll put seeds in there. you can start mining that cryptocurrency out because of seeds. And you can get seeds from mining our coin. Okay. You can mine our OS, and soon, in about 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to be able to take that OS and stake it on your phone. Right? I just told you we went through this whole process for 5 months. We found every hurdle, every hiccup, every problem, every stumbling block because we were a bunch of crazy people going through this, because none of us, there's probably 95% of us that didn't know anything about crypto, right? And we were teaching each other as we were still losing our mind, right? But we've learned and we know what the big problems are. And one of it is going through that whole system. We're going to do it, and now we're going to just put it on your phone, right? You're going to take the OS that you earn by mining, right? You're going to take it, and then you're going to stake it. 2 buttons, bam, bam. And you're going to start getting seeds out. And you're literally going to be able to, kind of put that capital to work by your activity. You people really got to realize, and that's another mindset change we're trying to unlock in everybody, is you are the most valuable thing on this planet. All of us, we are people, right? So if we can show, and just by you on here and using your phone, your activity, you're engaging on here on the phone, that's valuable. Facebook will say it's valuable. Facebook knows it's valuable. That's why they try to keep you here, right? I know we're just on Facebook now, not on YouTube, but this is why they try to keep you here, because people are valuable. And if we can prove that on our chain, which I told you is incorruptible, transparent, every business can see it, that's why our coin is valuable. People will pay a lot of money for that kind of information. So it's a great question, because yes, you can literally get into this space that we're talking about by just being active on our cryptocurrency wallet. Now you can jump to the head of the line if you wanted to actually put capital and deposit it. We're never going to ask you for money. You deposit your capital just like you deposit it in a bank, but here you make your money work for you. In a bank, you're not going to get nothing for interest, right? Here, you're going to put it to work. And that's what we're all talking about here, right?
I think this leads into that. So yielding is like the interest you would earn from a bank, and that's how you yield those coins, or that's what you use those coins for.
It's a part of it. That there's a part. And I always try to separate it. There's decentralized financing. That's more like interest, because you're providing liquidity to a pool. And if you know what liquidity is, like I just showed you, we have $65 million of liquidity in our pool. It's a great amount, right? So just think of stocks. If somebody wanted to buy, a Samsung stock, and I don't know the price of that, or somebody wanted to sell a Samsung stock, they sold it for $5, right? But over here on the other side, there was no buyer yet, right? If there's a liquidity pool in the middle, it makes a nice, easy transaction. So the liquidity pool that has $65 million in there will buy that $5 Samsung stock. And 2 minutes later, when there's finally a buyer ready for that price, we'll sell it to that seller. So that's an awesome service in a financial type of industry like that. So by doing that, yes, you'll get interest on that, because even though we're in Balancer is giving us some of their coins. And it is, you can look at it where they're either giving you some of their cryptocurrencies, or they are actually giving you 10% interest, something like that. But when you come over to like Opus Finance or Starwire, because they have those pools too that we have, right? And they have the same 7 companies, but we're on theirs, right? But when we do that, that's called yield farming. That's where we get a lot of the cryptocurrency yielding. You'll hear us call it farming, all kinds of stuff, and it is incredible, because you just show the receipt of your liquidity that you placed over there at Balancer, and you come over to ours and say, hey, Opus Finance, I have a receipt over at Balancer saying I'm providing liquidity. I put this much money in. Give me some rewards. And you stake it in ours, and we'll give you rewards. So they're just two different actions. Just want to kind of clarify that.
So can you see that next one? What's the relationship of Balancer to Uniswap? And then how does that work with the wallet of MetaMask? Right.
They're just two different places of where you can do these type of financial, moves and stuff like that. We've used the S curve. That's another one. Uniswap, Balancer. That's where our developers right? They make these contracts of whatever. Let's just say we wanted to make one and pair with Starwire. Okay, I'm sorry I keep using Star. I'm gonna say waifu. All right. Say we wanted to use and pair with waifu. Our developers would have to make a contract, right? And it's really a preference. Sometimes Balancer provides a little more, maybe better interest, or Uniswap might be something where it's just might be a little bit faster, the transactions or things that are going on. You might be able to add more kind of additions to the smart contract. So I'm just saying they're just different type of systems to write these for our developers to write the code to perform all this stuff. It's really a choice. I couldn't tell you exactly because that's more of a developer question. They're all about the coding and things like that. I just know that those are the two we use. And in relation to MetaMask connects you where MetaMask now connects you to these places, and they know, like Uniswap knows, okay, this is your account. It's connected. He has Ethereum. He has this. He had that, and it allows you to make transactions in there. And you can add something to a pool. You can, do a swap. I mean, you'll see that's where you can buy our coin, wrapped PE. So there's other things. Uniswap, you're going to see it's really coming up. It's doing almost as awesome as CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. It's really coming up to be a great, place for trading coins and just doing all that stuff. That's why the coin, if you look at it, it's going bonkers. Just from November, it was like $1.70, and now it's almost 20. It's almost 12 or 20 bucks. It bounces around. I got that one.
So next one is, how do the companies benefit from giving us their coins, and if we're not buying their coins, and how does that help them raise funds if they're giving out feeds?
Great question. They, like I said, what we found for the past 5 months is they're lacking a community. There's not there. If like I said, I'm into marketing, and most of the times when you see a company needs a little boost with YouTube, people go buy YouTube views. And I was amazed that this is what some of the ideas that we got when people were saying, "Oh, you guys, we know how to get you guys there." And these are high level people that were telling us how to get there, right? And they give us sites like, "Hey, go buy Twitter likes, go buy Facebook likes, go." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I mean, this is so. Number one, community. Number two, liquidity, right? If you know anything about in 2017 of what happened with all the ICO launches, that was why they all crapped out. It was a lot more scams, but it wasn't just about scams. It was about the big bag holders, right? All the people that kind of had the coins before everybody else, and they started, doing the trade, and they launched the coins, and it starts going up. Those big bag holders would dump on everybody, okay? And then there was no more. Those other people couldn't get out. There was nobody wanting to buy those coins. That's the liquidity we're talking about, right? So these companies that are just starting out, that want to get their feet under them, they need a pool like ours that has $65 million of liquidity. And now, where we've finally met our goal, if you look into what we've done with Beast Mode and our pools, we leverage out to over $1 billion. It's crazy. It's crazy where we're at. So that was our goal. We were trying to get there. We were kind of but we did it, as a goal. And I know we haven't got into beast mode and what all those mean, but just like you can leverage in options, right? In stocks, well, we have that kind of those handles and levers in this space. And we are now leveraged out as a group. Our group that you guys are now a part of, we're leveraged out over $1.2 billion. It's incredible. 5 months, guys, and ladies,
and growing strong every day.
Growing strong.
Here's someone who has a lot of PE but only has 2 OS. How does he get more OS?
Okay, yeah, well, that's a good problem. Number one, PE is I think it's right around what 3,500 coin, Tim, right? I think that's where. So PE, that's an awesome problem.
You're right.
Because you're going to be able to do the same thing by staking PE, what I was talking about OS. But and let me explain it to everybody, because if you got the cryptocurrency wallet we have, they don't get PE. The only people that are able to acquire PE our partners that have nodes, because when you're supporting, let's say Media Blocks, and that's a shameless plug. I am Media Blocks. Please support me. If you're on there and you're supporting Media Blocks, okay, you're getting OS, and on the back end, I'm getting PE. All right. So the PE, there is a lot of value with PE because you're going to be able to also stake that like OS. Like I was telling you about, you would stake in a whole bunch of OS and getting seeds. Well, you're only going to have to stake a couple PE and get a lot of seeds. All right. PE is a much higher value. Right now, I don't think it's at this point right now, but the goal is to get it 1,000 to 1. So if you have 1,000 PE, then if PE was $1,000, then OS would be $1, right? But we're not at that ratio yet, because if we were there now, OS would be $3.50 a coin. But we're close. It's close. We're not dialed it in yet, because we got a lot of things coming. You know, soon you're going to see our credit card, right? Go ahead. Please.
So is having WPE the same as having PE, and will there be a wrapped OS, WOS?
Great question. So wrapped PE is so we could go and build on the Ethereum chain, right? But to do that, we had to stake regular PE, okay, on our chain to like, I guess you would say, collateral, right? So there are 38,380 wrapped PE, and that's what we have staked on our chain. And on the other side, now we have 38,380 wrapped PE. So it has to be like a mirror, all right? So that's the difference. It's just like ours. It's more in reality of the coins on our cryptocurrency wallet, the Opus ID app, right? But to do all these things in this Ethereum and doing the ERC20 token, because that's what wrap PE is. It's an ERC20 token, right? So we can go and play on Ethereum's playground. So they are the same, right? But I believe from what I know and talking to the developers, PE has a little more value. The value of PE is a little higher. Okay. Hopefully that was, and OS. There is no wrapped OS. We'll never need to go and wrap OS, because eventually we're going to kind of build off of our own chain. Give you another little quick plug. Like I said, I don't mean to just kind of talk about with Opus, but I know a lot with Opus. Why we're excited again about what Opus is, right? Ethereum is like the second biggest coin. Everybody knows it, right? Everybody builds off of it. It's the economy. Ethereum right now can do 15 transactions a second. That's what Ethereum can do. All right. Right now at this point, I know they forked and they're working on, getting it higher, but that's what they can do. Visa does 24,000 transactions a second. That's what we all use everyday world, right? Real world. 24,000 transactions a second. Opus on our chain, we can do 30,000 transactions a second right now. Currently, our blockchain is operational and working. And the developers, they could tweak it and double that in just a couple of tweaks. And that means 60,000 transactions a second. This is why we're excited. We're going to change the financial industry. That's our goal. All right. Seriously, too, behind everything that we're doing here, if you guys really want to know about BeesSocial and Opus and all those other awesome projects like Waifu and Pixel and NFTS, the main driving force behind all of this is humanitarian efforts. Our goal for Opus is to pull 2 billion people out of poverty, and we have the plan to do that. And that's not a joke. I know that's a pretty big statement, but that's what our goal is, and that's what we're driving for. So, and like I said, as you guys are on here, and ladies, you're on here and you're learning, you're going to see how that it's doable, and that's what's incredible. So, perfect. Yeah, you don't see any of the names. It just does that. It's all right. We'll forget all that going. It's our first one, everybody. So yeah, welcome. This is our first live one.
Yeah, first time using this tool to broadcast from here. Sometimes we have Zooms. How many people are involved in BeesSocial at the moment, and how big do we expect it to grow? That was another question.
Right now, I think we're 400, 450. I think that's where we're at, right? Our goal within the next 2 months is to get probably 25,000, and then from there, we're looking to get 1 million people on here. Because if we get 1 million people on here, it's game over. We win. Because go ahead, Tim. No,
I was just going to say, the way we do that is to have these conversations with as many people as we can. So everybody, please like the stream, share the stream with your friends, and come back and ask questions when, because we know as soon as we turn this off, you've been going for an hour now, but as soon as it turns off, somebody comes up with a question or wants a refresher on something. They can always come back and watch the replays if they join us on Facebook. We'll be on YouTube. We'll be able to be found on the Roku channels, the Amazon Fire, everywhere you want to be. That's where BeesSocial will be. And then you'll be running these shows for beginners every day, every night, 24-hour network like CNN. How often are you going to do this?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, right? Well, hey, anybody can jump in. We can all have on our spots on here. But no, right now it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We might start doing something Saturdays because I know people work. The other cool thing, it is coming in about 3 weeks. We're going to drop a Bees coin. It's not going to be called Bees coin, but there's going to be a coin for this community. And I mean, this is the fairest distribution that's ever been done. It's not like Ray is in the inside with the developers and I'm like, give me my pile first. There is none of that. None of us are getting an insider's, little handout. It's not happening. Even not buying it is going to be laid out. Okay. It might be around 60 cents or not 60. It'll be like a sixth of a penny to a penny. That's what it's going to start. Something like that. We're all going to be able to get it. And when we go ahead and build this community to where we know it's going to go, that coin is going to go bonkers, right? So just saying, that's kind of what this is all about. And because we want to make everybody a part of it. So you got to be prepared. We'll make announcements of when all this will be launched because it will. It's just going to be placed on there. There's not going to be, like I said, even some hidden later, not just, getting a pop. It's all going to be at once, right? So we can go get our share. Think of it like that. If you ever had stock options at a company, think of it like that. Stock options. You go and get your couple of whatever. I don't even $50 of pennies, right? Get them, and then we go shoot that thing to $20, $50 a coin. You know what that would do to your money? That's that Bitcoin. That's what we're trying to recreate. Bitcoin moves 6 million%, right? You know what? If we move this thing from a penny to $20, that's 200,000%. It's ridiculous, and it's possible. So, yeah, cool.
One of the last questions here. In the future, if we want to get liquidity out of OS, do we exchange it for PE and then wrap it or move it over to the ERC20 coin and make it more transactional? What's the mechanics of how this is going to work?
No, you would just go over to that balancer pool where I was showing you. There's that token that's $270,000. There's a button over in there. It says add liquidity and remove liquidity, right? There's a button. It's grayed out, but you'll be able to just hit that button and you'll remove your liquidity, and that's it. You're back into wrapped PE or any of the 7 other cryptocurrency of the companies, and that's it. You're on your way. Which wallets? Okay, I'll let you read them, Tim.
Yeah, which wallets or exchanges will you be able to buy this Bees coin that you just mentioned about for BeesSocial?
Pretty sure Uniswap, and it should be all maybe not the exact days at the beginning, but 3 days from when we drop it on the world, it'll be on every exchange. Right.
All right, and then there's a lot of thank yous coming through here. We've been on just about an hour. We got about a minute left before we hit an hour. So somebody wants you to wrap up in 1 minute exactly why somebody should get involved in BeesSocial, or what's the goal besides the amazing humanitarian efforts, but what's the tool that we're really going to bring to the market?
It's cryptocurrency education. This is going to be the largest cryptocurrency university on the planet. That's the goal. Because everybody else, if you go on YouTube, you go on any of them, they're shilling for coins. They're pumping and dumping. They're telling you, go buy Doge, go get the Doge coin. And then when they're asking you to go buy, they're pulling theirs out and they're making profits on the way up. It's gone. Just know how we've learned how this works. It's just like advertising, and I don't fault them. There's not all of them, but that is how it works. It's how the whole system works. A company comes, they pay them $10,000 to talk about their coin, some great influencer on YouTube, and that company soars. And why it's soaring, they're pulling all the profits, right? We're not going to do that. This isn't a pitch fest. I'm not going to sit here and talk, yo, go get StarWire. We're going to talk to developers. We're going to talk to founders. We're going to talk to the heads of these blockchains. And you're going to ask questions just like we just did here to me. We're going to talk to the heads of these companies. That's the venture capital we're talking about. It's incredible. I get excited because it's like I said, it's like I can't believe something like this is happening, because we're flipping the whole world on its head. Regular people are going to be able to take part in something that was only meant for top people, because you needed billions of dollars to do this. Right. Cryptocurrency gives us that opportunity. So cool.
Excellent stuff, Ray. Thank you very much. I always learn every time I'm watching you, and I'm glad to participate and help out in any way I can. And then just to remind everybody, please like and share this video so that your friends and family and other investors, they can ask you questions or join in the conversation next time we have these shows on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere else. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and soon to be Saturdays, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you, man.
There we go. See you next time.
Yep. Bye-bye.